extradition. Free Julian Assange. No extradition.
Free Julian Assange. No extradition.
Free Julian Assange. No extradition. Free Julian Assange. No extradition.
No extradition.
When's your birthday?
What's that?
When's your birthday?
My birthday, October
What number, please?
17.
Well, thank you for that. I'm March 10th.
Oh, 6 months extradition.
5.
Free Julian Assange.
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange.
No extradition.
It's good lettering.
What?
Good lettering.
Extradition. No extradition. Free Julian Assange. No extradition. Free Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange.
No extradition.
No extradition.
What do you want the American people to know?
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange.
No extradition.
Could you be a little more detailed?
Be a little bit more detailed. Well, here's somebody who's in jail. I heard that he was in the hospital this morning.
Suffering the conditions.
Yes, and they said that he's unable to speak coherently. They did that to him. They have ways of doing those things.
They added chemicals
Poisons,
to his system.
microwaves,
No extradition.
chips. And he was held in solitary, not in general population, where people could see what was being done to him. So he was trying to be a real journalist, trying to get the information out from inside those secret parts of the government where all the disasters of our lives these days are planned. He wanted people to be able to see this. He lifted the lid. And they're trying to make an example of him. They're trying to make a dead body of him, apparently. Imagine if they tried to put him on trial. Imagine him on the witness stand with all those corrupt police state charges. They would file against him.
Thank you. That was pretty good.
Free Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange.
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange.
No extradition. Free Julian Assange.
No extradition. No extradition. Free Julian Assange. No extradition. Free Julian Assange. No extradition. Free Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange!
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange! No extradition! Free Julian Assange! No extradition! Free Julian Assange!
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition. No extradition. No extradition. No extradition.
Free Julian Assange.
I know.
Free Chelsea Manning. Free Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange!
Free Chelsea Manning. Free
Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange!
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange!
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange!
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Chelsea Manning.
Okay, who would like to have a bit of a speak out? Yeah, shall we have a speak out? Free speech, speak out.
I just wanted to say that Julian Assange went into the hospital today. You know that?
Into the ward at Del
Yeah,
Mar.
he's in the hospital ward now. He was unable to make the hearing because he couldn't speak. He seems to be quite ill.
Yes.
Okay, so I think people need to pray for his life because you don't know what's really going on in that prison. You know? And there were some reports about a month ago that he was being given a drug called BZ, which is something that they give to terrorists while they're in there. Now that report, I don't think that report was substantiated nevertheless, but maybe it couldn't be substantiated. The report came out from Colonel Karen Kutowski. Do people know who Karen Kutowski is? Okay, maybe you could just explain that for 1 second, and then what the report said, and then the next person.
Okay. Well, Eric will come back to that. Let's just say that today Julian Assange is very sick. His Swedish attorney, Per Svensson, visited him recently and said that he could barely hold a normal conversation. And that his hearing, the Swedish hearing that was scheduled for June 3rd, be called off, and they refused to do so. Today was also a hearing at Westminster for the U.S. extradition, and I don't know what happened to that. Maybe you do, Jim? What happened today? Okay, so
Last I saw it, they were trying to get the hearing in Sweden postponed because of
that's right. So the hearing in Sweden was postponed. Apparently,
I don't know if it was. I don't think it was.
no, I don't believe it was. I think they're going to hold it without him. But they do have had a hearing today at Westminster for the extradition to the United States. We don't know what the result of that is. And let's hear now more about WikiLeaks and about Julian. And who wants to give a brief overlook? Chuck, would you like to do that, or Jim? Who would like to come first? Jim? Come on in. This is Jim Kavanaugh.
What we have to do is to demand that Assange be released. That, you know, he's been in essentially solitary or confinement, let's say, for almost 9 years. And that's much longer than he would have gotten for a bail jumping charge in England. And he's been in jail in England for 7 weeks. And it's time for him to get out of jail, to get real medical treatment, and to be a free man. There are no charges against him anywhere in the world, I repeat. Julian Assange is not and has never been charged with a crime in Sweden. Only crime in England is bail jumping, which is moot because there's no more warrant, and he's served enough time for that. It's usually a few weeks in jail. But Julian Assange is not and never been charged with a crime, except in the United States. The only charges are the American indictment charges. Previous to those indictments, Julian Assange had not been charged with a crime. The charges now are very serious, and they carry over 175 years in jail, in prison. And if Julian Assange comes back to the United States, he will disappear forever into the American gulag. As John Kiriakou, he's an ex-CIA agent. He's the only person that was convicted of anything having to do with American torture. What he was convicted of was giving information to a journalist about it. And he was tried in the Eastern District of Virginia. He served about 2 years, I think, in relatively mild prison, but in prison. He was in prison. And he'll say, in the Eastern District of Virginia, you cannot mount a defense. You ask for documents, they say they're all classified. We can't give them the documents that you need for your defense. The Espionage Act charges do not permit a public interest defense. That means you cannot go into court and say, yeah, I revealed these facts, Chelsea Manning or John Kiriakou did have reason. We're under obligation to keep secrets, and I don't know, but in Kiriakou's case, it's not even clear he revealed anything. He just confirmed something, I think. But anyway, if you go into court in the Eastern District of Virginia, on anywhere in the United States, on an Espionage Act charge, you cannot say, well, maybe it was against the law to do this, but the public interest was so great in letting people know about what happened and in preventing it from happening again, that's a defense I can make about this. That's the kind of defense you make if someone breaks into a building because they think someone's being killed and say, yeah, I broke the law, but there was an interest in that. And you can't do that. Under the Espionage Act, that defense is excluded. So there's no question. If Julian Assange comes to the United States, he will be immediately disappear forever into the American gulag. The international implications of this is not just about Julian Assange. This is about every journalist in the world. And this is a publisher. That's exactly right. Julian Assange didn't steal any secrets. He didn't steal anything. He didn't help Chelsea Manning steal anything. She had the password. She had access. She had downloaded the documents before Julian Assange ever came on the scene. She called up the New York Times and the Washington Post to give them to them, and they didn't answer the phone. Put her on voicemail. So then she contacted WikiLeaks. So Julian Assange didn't help her steal anything, and he just published it. What the United States is doing is saying, we are going to require another country, Britain, to send us the citizen of yet a third country, Australia, to publish true information about our crimes. And you have to do that. Julian Assange didn't do anything in the United States. He's not an American citizen, and he didn't do anything in the United States. Under that legal theory, China can ask Norway, if the editor of the New York Times, Dean Baskett, goes to Norway, China can say, I want you to extradite him to us because he revealed information that we consider secret, and it's against our espionage law. So if you're good with that, I don't know what to tell you. Now, but what we also know when we say that is, oh, well, that's not going to happen. And the reason it's not going to happen is because of American imperialism. Other countries around the world obey us because we're the imperialist center. And that's what's at stake in Britain, whether they will obey their imperial master. Since the second indictment, which is 175 years of prison time and which wipes away the whole excuse and diversion that the New York Times and the Washington Post and the British Guardian said, it's not about publishing, it's about hacking, it's only a 5-year charge, he stole, it's about secrets, about cracking a password. This is now gone. That excuse, that diversion, that avoidance is gone. This is about 175 years in Britain, the rest of his life. What's happening in Britain is the British liberals and the Guardian in Britain put out an editorial. This is horrible. These charges of these new charges really are against free speech. We cannot extradite him to the United States. What should we do? The Guardian demanded of the British government, extradite him to Sweden. Extradite him. And the British liberals and the British parliamentarians are going, we can't extradite him to the United States. And this is really serious charges. We know this is freedom of the press. But we've got to extradite him to Sweden. If Sweden asks again, there's no extradition request from Sweden. There may not be an extradition request from Sweden. And if there is, it's going to be not because he's charged with a crime, but because they want to talk about it to him in a preliminary investigation. Those are those words. Whether they're going to reopen a preliminary investigation. But what they're doing is they're looking to get the liberals and lefties to say, oh, he's a rapist. It's a rape charge. I won't get into what the charge is. It's about wake-up sex. I'll tell you what the charge is. The charge is that he initiated wake-up sex with a woman he had been sleeping with the night before. And was she asleep? Was she half asleep? She says, sometimes she says half asleep. Sometimes she says I was dozed off. So that's, for 9 years, they've been doing a preliminary investigation about that. But, hey, if the Guardian and the liberal, what I say they're trying to do, first of all, if you look back on the history of that, those charges are phony. But if you believe them, and if you wanted to go to Sweden to be questioned again, do you think that is the most important thing in the world? That Julian Assange be sent to Sweden to be asked questions about this for the third or fourth time? If the Guardian thinks that's the most, how could you write an editorial and say, send him to Sweden without bringing up the fact everybody knows that the United States is going to demand his extradition from Sweden, and Sweden will comply. And the fact is, and if you read my article today, you'll see that Swedish law says, because they asked the Swedish prosecutorial authority, will you extradite him to the United States? You know what they said? According to our agreement with Britain, under the doctrine of speciality, we cannot extradite him to the United States. If we get him from Britain, we cannot extradite him to the United States unless Britain gives us the permission to do it. So why isn't the Guardian saying extradite him to Sweden, but only on the condition that, saying to the British courts, why do they leave that out? Why is everybody who says extradite him to Sweden because we're so concerned about this sex charge, why do they say extradite him to Sweden under the condition that he's not honorably extradited to the United States? Because they're all, the Washington Post, the New York Times, are all saying, we know now that these charges in the United States are very bad, and we shouldn't be allowed. So nobody who tells you or who says, I'm really interested in getting Julian Assange in Sweden to answer about these sex charges, has any credibility if they don't also say, but only under the condition that the British say he cannot be honorably extradited to Sweden. That's now, it's ordinary law, and it must be insisted on. So you're either really not interested in preventing him from getting extradited to the United States, and that's what the Guardian is not interested in. They're really okay with that, but they can't say it. So anybody who claims to be a lefty and a liberal, anti-imperialist, but so feminist that Julian Assange has, then you say, okay, but you got to say extradited to Sweden only on the condition that he not be honorably extradited to the United States. If the Swedes don't want to do that, if they're really interested in the sex crime law, then they'll say, okay. Anybody who's really interested in the sex crime allegation will say, okay, that's fair. I'm really interested in the sex crime allegation. I don't want all this baggage about entirely irrelevant stuff, but they're not going to, because it's a ruse and it's a phony ruse. And what they're doing, they want to support his extradition to the United States by ignoring it, by getting you to not think about it, to say the only issue on the table here is the Swedish. So I'm saying that it hasn't yet become a big issue in the United States, but it is the issue in England. I'm telling you, it's the main issue. And that's where his fate maybe already hasn't been decided, I don't know. But it's very clear, if the British extradited to Sweden without demanding, without forbidding Sweden from honorably extraditing, it's phony bullshit about these sex allegations. So now that we know he's also very sick, we have to focus and not let anybody get onto diversions. Release him, period.
Yeah, thank you.
Jim Kavanaugh, if you want to read his articles, it's thepolemicist.net. And Counterpunch, Jim Kavanaugh. Chris Hedges says, first Assange, then us. Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Chelsea Manning!
Free Chelsea Manning!
No extradition!
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition!
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition!
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition!
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Thank you. Chuck, do you want to say a few words? I'll hand out flyers. Chuck Slatkin.
First of all, thank everybody for coming out, because it's really important that we're here. Sometimes when we turn out and thousands of people, it doesn't mean much. But with a handful of us, it's really important. And it's really important that people come out, that other people can see that it's okay to do this. For those of you here a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to touch on what I talked about then again, but really about what WikiLeaks is. And how many people have used the WikiLeaks website, have gone there to look up information? Because that's really the important aspect of it. First of all, it's there, it's accessible, it's easy to use. You go there, you put in the topic that you want, the dates that you're interested, and lo and behold, all this information comes to you. The question is, a journalist using it and turning their back on Julian Assange at this point, or are they just ignoring it totally? But the point of the matter is that no one in the decade that information has been available to us has anyone come out and said that there's been anything, one piece of information that was untrue. This is a source of truthful information for us to find out about what governments are doing, what corporations are doing, what's being done that's corrupt. Essential information for people all over the world to know. So what happened? Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning came out with the collateral damage video, which proved once and for all for everybody to see that the United States government committed war crimes. There it is for everyone to see with all the other Vault 7 information, everything that came out. But this got them more than anything because they can't deny it. They're right there. They want people to not look at it and understand that this is essential information, and they are going to get Julian Assange for that. That was the intent of this whole thing. I mean, we saw it a couple of weeks ago when the narrative that was out there, the propaganda. We had people yelling at us 2 weeks ago, Julian Assange, he's a rapist. With all emotion, no thought, but all because it's been repeated to them over and over again in the media, everywhere they turn, left, right, and center, the same narrative coming through about that. But the forces, they want to get Julian Assange, they want to punish him, or worse, for what he did as a message to everybody else, to every other whistleblower and publisher to stay away from this stuff, because we can't afford, as the international war criminals that we are, for people to find out about what we're doing. And that was the crime of Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning, is they said they found this information and they got it out for us to see exactly what's being done in our name, what's being done with our tax dollars, and what people in the mainstream media and the alternative media, people who we may have felt were on our side, allies of us, after a while, they start repeating the same narrative that there's something wrong with Julian Assange. There's something not right about him. I don't know anything about him, but I don't like him. There's something not right about Julian Assange. What there's not right about Julian Assange is that he used WikiLeaks to get out the truth about everybody. So, of course, when it was against certain people, well, that was fantastic. But then when people perceive that the truth about what the Democratic Party did, what the Podesta emails and the DNC emails did, somehow helped Trump, that therefore that negates everything, all the truth, everything else that we should know about that, because it helped Trump. They got that health derangement syndrome in their heads or whatever. Get rid of Trump is the most important thing in the world. They want to have Pence. They want to have the next iteration of these war criminals come about. But the fact of the matter is they had to get Julian Assange, and we should all be fearful for his life and his well-being, but it's essential to be out here and to talk to people and get people, encourage people to go on WikiLeaks. Check something out, whatever it is. A couple of weeks ago, I related how I worked for a union and I went on WikiLeaks to find out what was going on having to do with postal workers and the Postal Workers Union. And what I uncovered was information about how Trump, the head of the AFL-CIO, was meeting with the heads of his unions, but giving the information about what was being discussed to the Democratic National Committee about which union would most likely, support Sanders and what was going on. And he was meeting with his union leaders, the heads of his executive board, executive committee, and he was giving information to Podesta and to the DNC on a regular basis. Of course, he got reelected, but maybe not this time. But that's what's there. It's this wealth of information that you can discover about stuff that you would have no way of knowing, and it's there because of WikiLeaks and what Julian Assange has done to have us wake up and see what's there, and they want to get him because they haven't been able to do anything to stop this going on, and that's what really is got them. And they don't want just to convict him. They want to torture him. They want to punish him. They want to have him pay the ultimate price for doing what they can't stand, which is have the truth come out to the people. And that's what Assange has done. That's why it's essential that he be free, not extradited to his country, and we need to call out to the British consulate and the Swedish consulate, both located in this building, that they can't do this, that we will not be silent, and we just have to go out there and talk to the people we know, the people's closest to us, and not have them be taken over by the propaganda and the ongoing narrative and all this manufactured consent about how someone who's provided us with essential information, which no one else has given us, is under attack. And yes, we have to embrace the people who a few weeks ago would have nothing to do with it. And it's important that they see it because now they're under attack too. And yes, this is a big tent. Everybody can come in and fight free Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning, and no extradition, even if they were assholes a couple of weeks ago. It really is, well, yes, but it's important to get the word out and to talk about it to people, because again, this is something that we're not hearing in the media, in the alternative media, and people with their there's something not right about Assange. There's something not right about Assange. What's not right about Assange is he's not free, and he's able to do what he has to do. So again, thank everybody for coming out here today, and hopefully we'll see you as long as it takes.
We were protecting the Venezuelan embassy from the takeover by Donald Trump and his CIA fraud president Juan Guaido in Venezuela. It's an outrageous coup d'etat against the sovereignty of Venezuela to have a CIA fraud with no backing taking over an embassy against the will of an elected government, a government recognized by the United Nations. And we see what's happening to Venezuela, happening to Julian Assange in the degradation and destruction of international law. There's a right-wing wave going on here and around the world. We have a bipartisan war against Venezuela right now. To defeat this right-wing wave, it is engulfing us as part of a crisis in the capitalist system, and we can't get away from that. I've been a Haiti activist for many years, and WikiLeaks was revelatory about the actions of the U.S. government in Haiti. Hillary Clinton pressured the electoral board of Haiti into accepting a crook in a runoff election for president. WikiLeaks exposed that, and Hillary Clinton, no less so than her dirty work in Honduras, ensured the victory of this crook who was linked to the Duvalier dictatorship, and now they got another guy in the same party who says he's another Trump. So that's Hillary Clinton's dirty work, the same party that spied on Bernie Sanders. And both parties are no good. They are hostage to the upper crust of capital. There's no way to change it.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange!
No extradition.
No extradition!
Free Chelsea Manning.
No Chelsea Manning!
Free Julian Assange.
No extradition!
No extradition.
No extradition!
Free Julian Assange.
No extradition!
Okay, we're going to be back here every Thursday at 4:30. We hope to see you again. AJ has a few words to say, and please come prepared next week. This is a free speak out. We'd love to hear from everyone here. AJ.
Hope you can come back every week at 4:30 on Thursdays because this can be the beginning of something new, something that hasn't happened before, where a lot of groups come together and they work together on a common basis to free this country from the parasitical entity that has been sucking the blood of this country for the past 60 years. Now, when I was a kid, there was an afternoon in high school, rather I think I was in maybe the 5th grade, and they came over the announcement, speakers, and they said, the president has been shot in Dallas, Texas. Everybody needs to board the buses and go home. Now, the people that took over this country that day have never left. They've never left. Has the government changed at all in 60 years? When Obama took over from Bush, was there any change in the U.S. government? No, there wasn't. And when Trump took over from Obama, was there really a change? The escalation of the attack on the people of this country, never thought I would see the day when they would escalate the attack on journalism, the attack on the First Amendment, the attack on the American people and the U.S. Constitution. That's what this is. This is not about just attacking somebody named Julian Assange. This is about tearing up the United States Constitution, ripping it to shreds, and throwing it in the wastebasket. You cannot tell a journalist he cannot publish information that he has received from a source with actual information that comes from a government document. If you can be arrested for publishing that information, there's no more journalism in the United States. It's over with. It's over with. And the tyranny that has been with us for all of these decades will be taking off the mask. They're taking off the mask right now. They're taking your human rights and your civil rights and they're trampling all over them. They're trampling all over your newspapers, your websites, your real journalists. They're telling you, just dare to continue to criticize our filthy dictatorship and you will be thrown in prison for the rest of your life. That's what they're telling us. That's what they're telling the American people. And there better be some pushback. There better be some pushback to it. Because if there isn't, this country will become an absolute tyranny. Your elections will be thrown in the garbage. You might not as well even bother voting or even thinking about it because the candidates are no good anyway. However, when Microsoft Incorporated takes over your elections, which they're going to do, you can say goodbye to free elections in the United States. Come back next Thursday, I certainly hope so, because if we don't carry